At 7:30, we call the meeting to order. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
roll call.
There are 20 supervisors present. Supervisors Caro, Nedweski, and Wambold are excused.
Okay, also present is Garrison Bryan from the Legislative Committee. Welcome. Citizen comments. Any citizen wish to speak? Any citizen wish to speak? Any citizen wish to speak? Seeing none, citizen comments is closed. Announcement of the chairman. Basically, this week we started budget meetings for the committees, and next week, starting on Monday, it's going to go to finance. So hopefully, many of you guys, if not all, will attend those meetings, and we'll try to get the budget done on time this year. Supervisors reports. Any supervisor wish to speak? I believe Supervisor Rodriguez.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Much to the disappointment of my haters out there, my surgery went very well. It was a success. But I want to take a moment to thank you, Mr. Chairman, and our County Clerk, Reggie Walagora, for immediately after surgery, I think the next day or the day following, I reached out and indicated that because things were going well at the hospital, my surgical team was going to let me go home. And against that team's wishes, I went to the budget hearing for Judiciary and Law. And so just thank you to you both for making accommodations to ensure that I could safely attend the meeting and attend the meeting tonight as well. Very much appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you. Supervisor Geschke.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just a brief update from the Planning, Development, and Extension Education Committee. Last week we had our monthly meeting, and in lieu of the extension education portion, we had our budget hearing. We did unanimously approve the budget, both for the Planning and Development Department and the UW Extension, and so we are sending that on to the Finance Committee to be considered next week for a hearing. The only land use item that was before us this past week was tabled and to be taken up at a future date. And we do have an appointment which will be coming before the board tonight as well. That's all from the PDEC committee. Thank you.
Thank you. Supervisor Thomas.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I don't take any pleasure in reading this, but I do want to share this. Starting in January of 2023, I started researching a number of leases, MOUs, land use agreements, and similar focused on public works, specifically the Parks Department. Some dating back to the mid-1970s, starting the Wisconsin Energy and the bike path through eastern Kenosha County. In August, I informed the Public Works Committee that per UW Parkside Chancellor, Assistant Chancellor, Building and Facilities Administrator, and the Risk Safety Administrator, that the county had not submitted any of the paperwork requested by the lease. I subsequently shared this information with the county board by email. Nothing being submitted was also confirmed by Matt Collins at the August Public Works Committee meeting. At the county board meeting, it was reported that a letter was drafted and signed by UW Parkside and the county that everything was okay, to briefly put it. When the Parks Director came before this board on May 7, 2019 to request the approval for the county to sign the land use agreement, I believe it was with the understanding that of the county board and the citizens of Kenosha County that it would be followed. To me, agreements as this one, they are black and white. We either intend to follow it as written and agreed upon, or we do not agree and we do not allow it to be signed. This type of 4-year noncompliance makes me question the agreements in which we are the leaseor or the leasee going forward and what's already previously been signed. This is not transparent government. This is not open government. It is blatantly disrespectful of the county board and the citizens that put their trust in our county employees and the elected officials. Thank you.
Thank you. Supervisor Nordia.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We will not be having a Public Works meeting next Monday, as we went through our budget last night. Everything was passed unanimously. So our next Public Works meeting will be on Monday, November 27th. However, we're going to then need to move the December meeting, as it's currently scheduled, for Monday, December 25th. So I'm going to ask everyone on the Public Works Committee that's here tonight to look at your calendars and let me know what date works best for you. I did have a call with Director of Parks Matt Collins today. He met with UW Parkside Interim Chancellor, I'm sorry, I think it's Mankey is the last name, risk manager out there, various professors, and they met at the UW Parkside trails and the different, I guess the different trails that we have in there. And today, everyone came out liking it all. They very much appreciated everything that's going on. I'm not sure where Supervisor Thomas is getting his information from, but it's not coming from UW Parkside. So, thank you.
Thank you. Supervisor Basho.
Thank you, Chairman. On behalf of Judiciary and Law, we did meet last week on Wednesday, the 11th. First of all, I'd like to make a special accommodation call out to Supervisor Rodriguez. I thought it was quite heroic of him to come that evening. It was very valuable, however. He brought a number of good questions and discussion topics that informed our meeting as we went. So thank you for being in attendance. Second, we did approve or move forward the budgets for all those areas which we do have oversight of without objection. They were all unanimous referrals. A quick update for everyone, just for awareness for Judiciary and Law. I have spoke with the Chair of Finance, and as there are 3 items that will be coming before us in a broken sequence of time next month, we will add a meeting, a special meeting on November 16th, a combined meeting with Finance to address some items that will need to move prior to this board adjourning Sendai. So thank you, and that's all.
Thank you. Any other? Vice Chair.
Through the chair to the chair of Judiciary and Law, will the regularly scheduled meeting on the first Wednesday of the month still take place in November? Thank you very much.
Any other supervisor? Any other supervisors? Seeing none, supervisor comments are closed.
New business, Resolution 60 from the Human Services Committee, a resolution on the individual health decisions pertaining to COVID-19 government lockdowns, vaccine, and mask mandates. This passed at committee 5-2 with Supervisors Stocker, Nedwesky, Geertsen, and Uhas voting aye, Supervisors Gentz and Kubicki voting nay.
Supervisor Rose, you got your hand up. Did you want to?
Yes, before we proceed discussing this, I would like to have a ruling on the propriety of 1 reading versus 2 readings. And the basis of that is simply this. There are 2 types of resolutions. There's this listed as a resolution, and then there's a policy resolution that requires 2 readings. I believe that a policy resolution changes something in the status quo, changes something the way we do things. And if you look at page 2 of this proposition, the 4 bullet points, I would submit to the board that this is a policy resolution. Why do I say that? Because it limits the power of the county executive It limits the county executive supervises and the health director works under the county executive. The health director serves at the pleasure of the county executive. And by passing a policy resolution which lists these 4 bullet points, we are limiting the authority of the county executive to set the policy for the health director to follow, limits the executive to hire and fire, limits the executive as to what direction we might go if there is another health crisis. So I would submit that this requires 2 readings, not 1 reading. I don't think it just is a resolution that expresses our opinion on some public issue as we have done from time to time. But I think that this is a resolution that does limit the authority of the executive, and that's why I believe that 2 readings are required. But I leave it up to you, Mr. Chairman, and the Corporation Council to weigh in on that.
Okay. Joe, you want to comment on that?
I'll simply say, and as I've noted before, obviously, I don't make rulings. I provide guidance and if you will, analysis or explanation. I will say that it's not my place to say one way or another. When I read this, I read it as a state of the board resolution or intent of the board rather than a policy. But again, I can't speak to the intentions of the authors and sponsors.
Well, would the one of the authors respond to that, whether it's a policy resolution or just simple a resolution stating?
May I speak?
Yeah, please, sorry.
Mic on?
Okay.
Well, I honestly never thought of it that way, but now that Supervisor Rose brought it up, if you do read the 3rd bullet point, it does state as a statement of policy. So his interpretation could be construed that way. I personally, and I don't know about the other sponsors of the resolution, I have no problem with having this as the first reading and our next reading be at the next meeting.
Thank you. Okay.
Supervisor Rodriguez has his hand up.
Okay. Supervisor Rodriguez?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would concur with Vice Chair Decker. I don't have an issue with this having a second reading. Through the chair to Corporation Council, can we accomplish that by a simple motion to table or postpone until our next meeting?
I'm not even sure that a motion is necessarily required. If it's determined that it's meant to be a policy resolution, then as a matter of the rules, it needs 2 readings. So if that is the intent or the will of the body / the sponsors, I think all we need to do is move on to the next item of business and make sure this is on the next agenda.
So this would count if the board decided to go that way as a first reading then?
Yes.
Okay. I can't, at the last sponsor, Supervisor Poole, I can't speak for him, but I have no issue with this getting read again at our next meeting. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Supervisor Poole, would you want to add on that?
I have no problems.
Okay, so I guess
Moving on.
we can just move on and not take any action at all on this year, correct? I'm sorry?
Mike.
Who is that? Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
If it's requiring 2 readings, does it need to be noticed on the agenda as such, or is there any policy behind that we should be aware of to make sure that we maintain compliance?
I am comfortable that between this conversation and the fact that the action would occur at the next meeting and not at this one, that as long as at the on the agenda for the next meeting, it's noted as second reading to required, I'm comfortable that we will be in compliance with everything necessary.
Thank you for the clarification.
Okay, is that it, Supervisor Besha?
Yes.
Is this debatable
No,
or
just-
not debatable? So,
We're done. Move on.
okay. Okay. Yeah.
Resolution 61 from the Planning, Development, and Extension Education Committee, a resolution to reappoint John Coffey to serve to the Silver Lake Management District Board. This passed unanimously at committee. Supervisors Bashaw and Franco excused.
Supervisor Geschke.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I move Resolution 61.
Moved by Supervisor Geschke, second by Supervisor Kubicki. Supervisor Geschke.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. As mentioned, Mr. Coffey's reappointment did unanimously pass the Planning and Development Committee. This is a relatively new lake district. Some of my colleagues may remember this was developed, I think, just about 2 years ago. And Mr. Coffey was very involved in the formation of this. He's served well these past couple of years, and we would value his continued service for 2 years moving forward. I will note that there is a slight typographical error on the first page of the resolution. At one point, it states that he will serve until 20225. We're not appointing him to a 2,200-year appointment. We're just simply appointing him for a 2-year appointment. So we'll need to make a motion to change that. Thank you.
Okay.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, should we vote on this here first? Any discussion on this?
I'll second it, so.
I think, yeah. Okay. No discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Oppose? Okay. Anything else on the resolution, Supervisor Geschke?
Thank you.
Okay, any supervisor comments? Vice Chair Decker.
While I live in Silver Lake, I do not live in the Silver Lake Management District, but it is very near to me, and I represent the Silver Lake area, obviously, and I know Mr. Coffey, he has worked hard on the Silver Lake Management District Board since actually prior to its inception, so I will be supporting him. I believe he is doing a fine job in his position. Thank you.
Any other supervisor? Any other supervisors? Supervisor Stock.
Yeah, just looking at this again, the first whereas, it says pursuant to county executive appointment 2023/24-22. Is that another typo? It just looked confusing to me.
No, that is I'm sorry, excuse me, I just started speaking, I'm sorry.
No, okay, it's okay. Go ahead, finish speaking.
Okay, if you page through Supervisor Stock to the original county executive appointment, that is their numbering system for the 23-24 year, and this is their 22nd appointment for that term.
I did not know that. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, good explanation. Any other supervisors? Any other supervisor? Seeing none, all in favor? Aye. Oppose? Passes.
Resolution 62 from Public Works Facilities Committee and Finance Administration Committee, a resolution authorizing application to the Wisconsin DNR Wisconsin Assessment Monies Program for parcels located in the area of 17th Court and 15th Street by Kenosha County. This passed unanimously at both committees. Supervisors Stocker and Thomas excused from the Public Works Committee.
Supervisor Norton.
Information.
Okay.
Can somebody clarify for me whether we voted on an amendment to fix the numbers and then we need to vote on the resolution as a whole, or we just moved?
We did them both.
No, we voted on both of
Voted
them.
on both.
Voted twice?
Yes.
Yeah.
Did we vote twice? I just said yes once. All right, thank you.
Good morning, Supervisor Gens.
I'm not on medication yet.
Oh, no, we know. Okay. Supervisor Nordigan.
Move Resolution 62.
Moved by Supervisor Nordigan, second by Supervisor Rose. Supervisor Nordigan.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I would like to have Shelley Billingsley come up and give a little explanation on this. She'll do much more justice to it than I will, as well as Resolution 63 when it comes up.
Good evening. These parcels are tax delinquent and have some environmental impacts. So to start the process of the county taking title, this would allow us to do a phase called a phase 1 using DNR funds to accomplish that. By way of doing a phase 1 before you take title to a possible environmental impact site keeps your CERCLA and your state liability exemptions for that contamination. So we're just asking to put forth a grant application to the DNR to conduct the phase 1 on the 4 properties of Resolution 62 and the 1 property of Resolution 63.
Okay. Any supervisor comments? Any supervisor comments? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes.
Resolution 63 from the Public Works Facilities Committee and Finance Administration Committee, a resolution authorizing application to the Wisconsin DNR Wisconsin Assessment Monies Program for property at 2907 63rd Street. This passed unanimously at committee with Supervisors Stocker and Thomas excused from the Public Works Committee.
Supervisor Nordgren.
Move Resolution 63.
Moved by Supervisor Nordgren, second by Supervisor Rose. Supervisor Nordgren.
As on the previous resolution, same
Same
exact
thing
situation.
goes by. Do you guys want to hear from Shelley again, or we're fine? Okay, any supervisor comments? Oops, sorry. Supervisor Bishop.
Just an ask. Wham, I thought was a band in the 80s and 90s, but if we could have a definition when we use acronyms, that would be helpful. What is Wham?
Wisconsin, oh, sorry, I'm
Go
doing
ahead,
it again.
go ahead.
Either or.
Please do.
Either or.
Please do.
It's right there, Wisconsin assessment money.
Yeah, Wisconsin assessment monies,
Okay,
sorry.
thank you.
Okay.
I'm
Any other
overstepping.
supervisors? Any other supervisor? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes.
I think now is my time to speak. Communications, 45, communications from Andy M. Bueller regarding future items scheduled before the Planning, Development, and Extension Education Committee.
Received and filed.
Claims 9, Doris Marshall, personal injury.
Refer to Corporation Council.
The approval of the October 3rd, 2023 minutes by Supervisor Grady.
Supervisor Grady.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would move approval of the October 3rd, 2023 minutes as presented.
Moved by Supervisor Grady, second by Supervisor Kubicki. Any comments? Any comments? All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Adjourn.
Motion to adjourn by Supervisor Berg, second by Supervisor Rodriguez.